Hello, everybody. My name is Ed. I'm in my rocking chair, and the smoking lamp is lit. Yeah, I'm in my rocking chair in my new smoking place. The new slippery plank, because the slippery plank was an old place that I had in a basement, bar, everything. This is my new version of it. What I'm smoking? Hey, hold on. This is Ardor. This is their Sherlock Holmes. And of course I saw that, Sherlock Holmes. I needed to get one. And yeah, this is, one of my favorite pipes. And what I'm smoking in it, probably backwards, Old Dublin. Now I read, they were talking about Peterson's Sherlock Holmes, but they're talking about Old Dublin probably was more like the tobacco that Sherlock Holmes might have smoked. Anyway, that's a nice thought. So because of that, Old Dublin, Sherlock Holmes. Why? Because I just finished smoking all of my church wardens as I watched The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings in mini binge, about 5 hours each day. So just finished that and decided again backwards. But what this is the Jeremy Brett series that he did, Sherlock Holmes, which I consider the best. So I'm going to be starting them up. Those are little, for the most part, about 1 hour little shows. So get 3 or 4 at a time and get them done. So I'm in a Sherlock Holmes mood. So one thing I want to do is we're going to, first, kind of apologize. Last video I did was long. A lot of people, I'm sure, just were taking their naps during it, waking up and it was still going, But I had stuff I wanted to cover and just got out of hand. But the main thing is, as you know, I moved to a new place. I'm still getting settled in. Even this room still has work to be done. And yeah, I love that. And so that little tour was at the end of it. I got a feeling a lot of people didn't stick it out. Don't blame them. So anyhow, I'm going to give you a little tour again, plus also the living room area where the armchair is a little bit more done. So quick little video. Then I'm going to give a little VR to Steve Coddington, Smoking Cardboards. Little story about my parents, or actually that my dad told about my mom. Simple one, just enjoyable. So anyhow, let's get on with just that quick little tour again. We'll be back. So just a quick little tour again. Tobacco pipes. Oops. We lost the lighting. See if I can get a little bit closer. But this is my armchair. Then going into my smoking area, my den, or the slippery plank. Pipes, cabinets, lighthouses, stuff. More pipes, figurines, another cabinet. Those are the ones you saw behind me in my old place. All stuff out there, bookshelves, and we go back up, we can see my rocking chair. And then a quick little thing. My kitchen. And more pipes. And back to my armchair. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a little something. And maybe you can help me out with comments. My living room, my armchair, obviously a smoking place. And the armchair is where I can also watch the movies, which I love. But this little spot here, this is just a nice place to smoke. So the question would be, does my armchair go into this room and the rocking chair go in my living room now? Sit there watching movies. I'll still be setting up a smoking area by the rocking chair and the armchair. I'm kind of moving back and forth as maybe this might be just a nice relaxing reading. I have a lamp here, set up my arm, a little smoking area here also. Of course, a lot of pipes are in here. So, what do you think? Don't care? What the heck? Make a comment anyway. But now I do have 2 excellent places to smoke, which is what it's all about. How to smoke. And then, of course, with summer coming on, my new place has a little patio, a much better, I've been working on it, garden, a lot of flowers and stuff there, which I enjoy also. But now, especially in the evening, like last night, it was just a gorgeous evening. The humidity wasn't that bad, and the sun's going out. So I sat outside, smoked a couple poker pipes, just cause I can. Anyhow, just something I'm thinking about. Maybe I'll switch them every month or so. Whatever. Okay. So now, a little story. Steve is asking, to relay a story that your parents or grandparents or somebody actually told. And this was something, after it happened, I know for me, he had brought it up quite a few times because he just enjoyed it. So I'm going to have to give you a little background here. It has to do with my dad's work. He started out at this company, Roebling Wire Rope, out of Trenton, New Jersey, at the age of 16. In fact, his first promotion was that of being an elevator operator. In those days, you had somebody in the elevator to operate it, move the door back and forth. That was his first promotion. Later, became an office boy in the engineering department. And that's important because he just loved it. They didn't have money to go to college. So he, once working, then started going to engineering school in Philadelphia. Got 3 years in before World War II, of which he joined and was stationed in England. Came back to the same company and started working with the in an engineering department. By this time, he was doing a lot of stuff, and he got promoted. This was when I was 3 years old, to a sales engineering job, and it was in Charleston, West Virginia. Because of all of the coal mining, they use wire rope for all the elevators and stuff of that nature. So that in the area kind of in Kentucky and Ohio and stuff was his territory. So he traveled a lot. And I think I've told you before, he, had a cigar every day. I can't imagine him not at least smoking one cigar every day. But even when on the road, he would bring enough cigars with him for every night that he would be on the road. And he used to, after he had dinner, he would sit in the hotel lobby, read the paper, and just watch the people coming and going, smoking his cigar. So he traveled a lot. Next promotion, Evansville, Indiana. And he did, again, a lot of traveling. Then he got back to Pennsylvania, worked out of the corporate offices, but the same job, but now a little bit more of a national, more, bigger territory that he would cover. Basically worked, and worked. A little side note, just to give you an idea, I personally went over 21 years without ever missing a day of work, without ever calling in sick. Didn't happen. Pretty proud of that. Dad brought me up with a good work ethic. And that was a lot of it was in the retail stores. So I'm dealing with people all the time, all their whatever. And then on all of it was also corporate, where I also traveled and stuff. Over 21 years, and I did not even come close to my dad's record. Because until he got into his 60s, except for a car accident that was kind of a work-related car accident, I never saw him sick, didn't go to work. Incredible. And in those days, of course, Social Security and actually for the company's retirement. 65 was the time he retired. And so just a little bit before he retired, I had a few people from his office, and he, at this time now, he retired from the company he started at at 16, Roebling Wire Rope, but they got bought out by Colorado Fuel and Iron, and eventually they basically got out of the wire rope end of it. And so he actually had one day when he didn't have a job. First time since when he was 16. Bethlehem Steel called him, offered him a position, pretty much over the phone because of his reputation. So he had one whole day of not working before Bethlehem Steel, and he was starting to work right off the bat. And they moved to Huntington Beach, California, where he retired again from that company. So the people he had, although he worked in the out of the corporate offices, or not the main corporate offices, but their offices in LA, his bosses actually he reported to people in Houston. Okay. So he's there, and he's about to retire, and he had a few people, I think a couple people from Houston, all taking him out to dinner, and some of them gathered at my parents' house, and they were trying to talk him into not retiring, because he had to officially retire, but then he would shift. They wanted him to shift into doing consultations, stuff. So the story my dad tells is this guy brought it up of, him continuing on in his capacity, but technically a consultant. And the story tells my mom in the kitchen took out a meat cleaver and waved it at these guys. Bob will not be working again. Made it very clear my dad has done enough. They were geared for him retiring at 65. And my mom put the kind of period behind that sentence. He will not be working again. Kind of jokingly, but let it be known with the cleaver in her hand, that's the way it's going to be. And he told that story to me, told it to me, so many times he told that story. And I just, just the way he told it, because him and my mom had just been through it all. He worked the support for it, support us. And they'd always said at 65, you're retiring. So that's a little story. Thanks for Steve for, having that as a question, because it reminded me of that story. So I'm glad to have passed it on. Anyway, that's all for now. So, as always, please put the like button, subscribe. new people. So I know who you are. That's how I find out about a lot of people from the YTPC. And of course, you know, if you don't like, you're not going to get to heaven. So anyway, may your smoking lamp always be lit. And take care out there.